Welcome and good morning also from my side. These are not mine. Yes, that's me. So I may introduce myself quite quick. I'm Mario. I'm running a 100% subsidiary of A1 Telekom Austria Group. And we are dedicated to what Dennis also mentioned already. We are dedicated to analyze data out of our telco networks, movement data. And before going into that, two quick questions to all of you. I mean, the first one is a no-brainer. I guess that every one of you has his handset, its mobile with, right? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. The second one, maybe a bit strange for some, but who knows of the Eurovision Song Contest? I'd say here a bit more emotions on that one. Okay, because you know that Austria has won, and this leads to the point that Austria needs to host the next event, right? And this gives a bit the circle to what we are doing. So, for example, we are analyzing how many people are on an event, where those people are coming from, how long do they stay, how many roamers are there, and so on and so on. So at the end, we are extrapolating and analyzing people's behavior, so movement. And we are doing this by analyzing the network data. And we already mentioned it, every one of us is running through its work life, private life with its mobile, and the mobile is constantly connected to one of the cell towers, right? And there are network monitoring systems, and those network monitoring systems are checking when, so timestamp, and where, latitude, longitude, those mobiles are connected to the network monitoring system. And to give you an example, a normal user generates about 3,000 of such information points. Heavy users, like us maybe, 10,000 a day. And we are connecting those 10,000, which, for example, I'm creating, and we are checking or analyzing out of that my movement. So where did I move? Through the city, through the country, whatever. And by combining those different movement behaviors, we are coming to products. So we are doing this, we are doing this in, a bit too fast, we are doing this in Austria and Slovenia and in Germany. So we are analyzing daily 40 million devices and creating out of that our products. So we are collecting the data, we are analyzing the data, we visualize it for the customers, and hopefully we also answer the questions of our customers. But very, very important for us in Europe is that it is totally GDPR compliant. So there is no conclusion, there is no person behind, so it's all anonymized, it's all GDPR compliant, and we're gonna certify this yearly. But now, jumping a bit more into the topic itself, so that's where we are, that's our geography, where we are operating. We are a 100% subsidiary, we are founded by technical university and so on. The founders are still on board, but that's our footprint, and you can see two different colors. The more orange, that's us, where we are acting in Slovenia, Austria, and Germany itself. And then there are two a bit lighter oranges in Switzerland and in Lithuania. It's not to be announced who are the operators behind, actually. We will announce in summer and in autumn. But those two operators in Switzerland and Lithuania, they are using our software platform. And that's what I'm pitching today. I'm pitching that everyone, every telco, can have this software platform like in Switzerland and Lithuania and use it for their own products, their own customers. Now, as already said, we are dedicated to understand human behavior and human movement at the scale. And if we take a step out of our normal daily business, so to say, we see that movement is behind everything, because our whole life is movement. Yeah, like you travel to Vienna, you will stay here within Vienna, you will move. So movement is everywhere, and you can find movement in all those, we call it verticals. So movement can be found, of course, for cities. Cities need to understand how their population is moving, behaving, traveling, because out of that they can do a better planning. It might be city planning, it might be traffic planning, whatever. So for cities, it's important. Tourism, like the Eurovision Song Contest example, of course, very important for a tourism region to understand where its customers are coming from, how many daily tourists are coming from, how long they stay. Again, movement that defines the value of the region. Retail, let's think of a pedestrian zone or a shopping mall. Nothing better for them to really understand where the customers are coming from, because if I'm running a shopping mall and I understand where my customers are coming from, I can do better marketing. It's not about the simple number of people being in my mall, it's about understanding where they're coming from and how to catch them. And this is what we deliver there. The same with events. This is again a bit like soccer, big festivals and so on. Also there are some possibilities. Mobility, next vertical. Yeah, mobility in terms of mobility on railways or on streets, also important to understand where the traffic is coming from, and that's what we are in. And last but not least, the government topic. So here very important. Oh, I see the teeth has fallen down, unfortunately. But the government, here we are also offering products and services which we are coming to. So we are offering a platform and a software suite with dedicated products to all those verticals. It might be location, tourism, city, traffic, or government, where we call it emergency insights. As the time, of course, is too short to go into all those products, I picked out two, where we're going to have now a deeper look into. The first one, location insights. The second one, emergency insights. Let's come to the first. Location insights, what means that? A customer defines a location where he is interested in to get some more knowledge. And we are showing then the customer who is visiting this location so that he can understand the behavior of his customers better and can plan offers more accordingly. If we come to the specs, we see that this is offered for events, tourism, cities, retail, and the main purpose is due to marketing. And this solution is available delayed, meaning some historical parts, but also in near real time. And to make it a bit more crispy, we're going to switch now, please, to the laptop. And we're gonna have a look on a demo where I picked out this location where we are right now at the moment, and we're gonna check it this way and have a look. Then it gets more interesting. Okay, please let's switch. Okay, thanks. So that's us. We are right now here in this A1 room, and that's the A1 Telekom Austria. And as mentioned before, it's only 4 stops to the inner city, but let's stay here at our location. I have set up now an analytics, and we're gonna analyze not this room where we are. This would be too small. Always let's consider we are working not with GPS, we are working with network data, but we're gonna have a look on a square that's surrounding at least this area. And if we go in, this is an example of the dashboard. You can see it's the A1 La Sallestraße, that's where we are. You can see the date, you can toggle through the different days, and you can see that, for example, on Friday, there had been 6,000 visitors at this place. So this room and the surrounding. And you see here at what time the visitors had been here, or the people working here had been here. And you can see, for example, that the peak was at a little bit in the afternoon, and latest In the afternoon, the people already left again the building, and it was quite empty around 6, 7. You can also see how many male and female had been here. You can see also the age, so gender and age is included. You can see the roamers, so we can analyze how many roaming guests had been here. You see that on Friday there had been the Germans leading, some Indian people leading, or SIM cards from India to be correct, Hungarian, Bulgarian, and so on. So this gives an insight on this location and the surrounding on Friday, and there are, of course, the whole different days in. So you see, for example, that on Thursday there had been 11,000 around here, so much stronger, which gives us a good indication that people are doing home office on Friday, right? So you can have that historically for these places, but there is, of course, much more in, like where did the people really come from, meaning geographically, so we can analyze that as well and go there more into the details, having it here in columns. We can filter it by postal codes and so on, and you really can drill it down and analyze where the people came from that visited this place. And the same you can have also more on a map view like here. So really drilling it down. The more red, the more people out of that district came to this place. It's very interactive and it's giving you all the data. But, and that's maybe a bit of the clue, we developed the solution, of course, right now we can have also a look on that in near real time. And that's us now in near real time. So you can see that the number of people is going up, and we are currently at 3,630. And that's a delay, that's a view on this place and the surrounding with a delay of 7 to 15 minutes. And this gives you some new opportunities for festivals, for emergency insights. So really knowing in, we call it near real time, how many people are here on a certain area you want to analyze. So that's one of the solutions. Let's go back to the PowerPoint, please. Yes, many thanks. So just sum it up. It's for events, tourism, cities, retail, shopping malls, and all points of interest. But it's always dedicated to one area. So one single area you're interested in. But out of that idea, and out of the idea that we can have a look on areas in near real time, we thought it a bit bigger. And thinking it a bit bigger means we created something called Emergency Insights. Emergency Insights can look on a city, on an area, on a whole country in near real time. I have now a demo for Vienna in near real time, but in reality we are already calculating, analyzing whole Austria in near real time. So what does this solution show to you? This shows to you population density, so really showing how many people are at a certain point in the city, but also deviations. What I mean by that, I'm going to explain now. If you know that normally in this surrounding at this time should be 3,600 people like we've seen before, and now there are 6,000 or 7,000 people, then you have a deviation. More people than usually, more people than in average. And this deviation we call anomaly. And an anomaly can be very important for security, for police, for emergency services, because if you have an anomaly, you know that there are more people than usually. And that's what we are delivering, for example, to the Austrian police. But to make it a bit more concrete, let's also go to the next one. So the target group is quite clear. Emergency organizations, government, also might be armed forces, whatever, police, and so on. The purpose is to have not a synthetical, to have a real knowing about your population and your population density in near real time. You can see it on 3 different layers. It's again delayed by 7 to 15 minutes at the moment. And if you have a strong deviation, you get automatically notification that there is an anomaly. And now let's switch again, please, to the laptop, because we are taking now a view on that. Okay. You can see the mouse. Okay, that's us. We are again here, located. And as Dennis said, there are 4 stops by underground to come to the inner city, and this is the inner city, so the historical part. And you can see now those numbers. I'm zooming out a bit, but you can see now those numbers. Those numbers are showing the number of people right now in those different districts. So you can see that in the first district, we're having right now 101,270 people. Yeah? If we click on that district, and we would like to know how the district behaved today, we can see that in the morning there had been 16,000 people, so not many people really living in the first district because it's historical, it's a business district, it's very touristic, but those 16,000 are living there, and you can see that right now the district really is ramping up and people are flowing into the district. But you can also see that yesterday, on Sunday, the maximum was around 57,000 people. So this, we also have 2 days of the past in the dashboard. So this really shows you the behavior of this district. And again, you have gender, age, the roaming information. So at the moment, we can see around 870 Americans in the district, Germans, Italians, and so on. So all the roaming data we are also taking and extrapolating. That's maybe a very, very important thing which I did not mention. We are taking the data of A1 network in Austria, but of course there are other networks. But if we are displaying numbers, it's already aggregated and extrapolated from A1 market share. So we know that A1 has a market share of 37%. We see those customers, the A1 customers of 37% in our network, and then we are extrapolating to 100%. And the deviation is quite small. So if we are saying that now, and you see now the number changed, the first district gets more crowded. Again, it changed from 101 to 102,000. If we are displaying this number, this is already the whole extrapolation and not the A1 share. But you can have that also on different views. We can drill it down to a square of 300 per 300 square meters, or we can drill it down to 150 per 150 meters. And now let's have a look on St. Stephen's Place, for example. Yeah? You can click on that square, and again, you can see how St. Stephen's Place is behaving. Again, the whole split of gender, age, and again, the whole split of roaming factors. So different granularities in our dashboard. And as mentioned, as we know how many people should be now in average on St. Stephen's Place, we also know if there is a deviation, which we call anomaly. And for example, this is an anomaly because on that place, at the moment, are more people than usually in average. And that's what we call anomaly, and we are displaying all these anomalies on the left. And this is being needed by police because there are demonstrations, events, concerts. I mean, our town is a vibrant thing, of course, 2 million people living here. These 2 million people are doing something. They are socializing, and not every event needs to be told to the police that something is happening. Sometimes events are happening, for example, demonstrations, quite spontaneous, and then the police needs to react. But the police does not know where those demonstrations will happen because it's spontaneous. They don't know how many people will come because it's spontaneous. But with that dashboard, they have a clear overview, and then they can react accordingly and send their troops, their forces, so to say, to ensure that everything is fine. two more features on that one, and then I'm gonna finish that presentation of the solution. We can also filter by different specs. For example, we are gonna check out now where and how many people of Germany are at the moment in Vienna. So we can filter by German. We take, of course, the roaming information, and we see, for example, right now that in those squares are 50 or 30 or whatever people from Germany. We can see that here on the main station, Vienna main station, railway main station, more German people are grouped together right now, but you can also have it on St. Stephen's Place, and we can see that around St. Stephen's Place, 60 German people are here, for example. So we can do that with all the roaming, but we can also go one step further. I know that you might not be familiar with the geographical situation of Austria, but of course, Austria is Vienna, and there are different regions. And we can also filter by different regions. So let's do this example. We can also say or ask how many people that came from another region in Austria are right now here in Vienna. So this is not the number of Viennese people. This is the number of people that came from another region. They had been yesterday in another region. They traveled to Vienna to do whatever they do, working, shopping. And we can filter that for all the regions. So this, what I want to say is the dashboard allows multiple filterings and gives you many, many different insights. If you're gonna go back to the presentation, that's this solution. It's quite new. We are also exporting this one already to Switzerland, to the operator, which I cannot name because the operator has a contract with his authorities, and the Swiss authorities also want to know in near real time the population density of their country. And we are quite proud because it's our solution, our technical base. And that's the first real good collaboration with Switzerland. So that's what I'm pitching. We are having a lot of solutions for the different verticals. And the question is, why should you partner with us? And the answer is quite clear. We know how to bring those solutions to you. We have the experience to deliver it on premise. We have the experience also to deliver it and install it on your cloud environment. We are experienced with multiple network monitoring systems because the network monitoring systems are delivering the data to us, which we need. And maybe also there, one word, because we have heard today the question of APIs and so on. So this is not Camara. This is not an API. This goes much deeper than the Camara initiative. Yeah? We are GDPR compliant. We are near real time. We have those near real time capabilities, and we can deliver it end to end to you. So here again, some names and vendors which we are already worked with. So you can see the names are quite familiar. And at the end, it's quite simple. Once we installed the software, the platform on your telco, the input comes in from the network monitoring system. Our platform is processing the data, and at the end, you get an output. It might be your dashboard, it might be our dashboard, it might be a white labeled dashboard, doesn't matter. Whatever is feasible, we can do. We have this offering really serving all those verticals again. If you think that this solution might be interesting for you as a telco or for your enterprise department or for your B2B sales or your B2G sales, then please come back to us. I'm quite happy to try to experience new data fields together with you. with that, I would like to finish, and I hope for some questions from your side.